Howdy partners, King Hippo here. I'm going to be responding to a video by Matthew Santoro called My Abuse Story. Now this video was Matthew Santoro talking about his abusive relationship with Nicole Arbor. This video was previously private, but was made shortly after the breakup between Nicole Arbor and Matthew Santoro. But it was on private and it was never uploaded until a few days ago when it was accidentally uploaded or made public, but was then shortly thereafter made private again. So some people were able to see the video and download it before it was made private again, and a lot of people saw the video. So Matthew Santoro, after seeing the positive response and how he could positively affect people out there who might be going through the same thing, Matthew Santoro decided to re-upload the video onto his channel to help people out. Now, Matthew Santoro didn't directly mention his story was about Nicole Arbor, but it was heavily implied since the original video was uploaded shortly after their breakup, and Mr. Santoro's friend recently, a few months back, went on Drama Alert talking about how abusive and manipulative Nicole Arbor was in their relationship. I will respond to Nicole Arbor's video in another video since she made a response to Matthew Santoro's abuse story, but today I am responding to Matthew Santoro's video. The first thing I want to say is that Mr. Santoro's video was very touching and hard to watch at some point. I'm going to link his video in the description, but it was heartbreaking to see this nice guy break down on camera. What Matthew Santoro says in the video is true. Society ignores victims of domestic violence, especially among men. Domestic violence and manipulation and abuse is disgusting and something you should not have to deal with. Today, I wanted to discuss my own experience with abuse and how I was once in the shoes of somebody like Nicole Arbor and how I was able to change the person I was. And hopefully by sharing my story and sharing how the mindset that Nicole Arbor probably has and the one that I previously had before, that was about 7 years ago, hopefully we can all learn from others' experience and not go through the same thing and make the same mistakes. When I was still in high school, I was in a relationship with a wonderful girl that I loved very much. It was one of my first relationships, so I wasn't aware of how things were supposed to go and signs to look out for or how to act in a relationship. After the first initial months of the relationship, things began to get worse for us. I will say that it is mostly my fault as I was a very jealous person and insecure at the time. This led me to going through my girlfriend's phone all the time, making excuses for why she couldn't have guy friends, and other abusive and manipulative things to isolate her. In my mind, though, I thought I was doing the right thing because there was also a reasoning or an excuse for my actions, and I never examined the real reasoning behind why I felt the way I did and the actions that I took. The person I was with was also suicidal, and self-harmed at times. Sometimes her reasoning for self-harming were for random reasons, not random, but for unrelated reasons such as her self-esteem issue or how she felt about herself or the way that she looked, and other times it was due to the roller coaster that was our relationship. She cut herself sometimes whenever I was leaving at the end of the day, or whether it was on a good note or not. She also knew where her father's gun was and threatened to kill herself at times. She also threatened to harm herself whenever, I would say that I'm leaving the relationship. And sometimes I make terrible, stupid reasonings for why I was leaving. And in a way, I was encouraging the self-harming in a way, and looking back on it, it was very disgusting, and I hated what I did at the time. I had no idea how to deal with these things at the time. It was very scary to see the things that she did. It's very scary to see somebody that you love sit there and self-harm themselves and cut themselves and threaten to kill themselves and actually do it. But it was more scary to realize that my insecurities and stupid actions of emotional abuse led to these actions. It still haunts me to this day, and I still beat myself up over it all the time. When we broke up, the thing that really hit a chord with me was when she said to me, "I have not been happy this past year." Hearing that from the person that I loved was heartbreaking and made me question my actions and to realize that what I was doing was emotionally abusive and I was not helping the relationship at all. I was hurting the person that I supposedly told every day that I loved. That experience led me to change the person that I was, how I act in a relationship, and to respect people that I care about. I was disgusted with myself and hated the person that I was back then, but thankfully I was able to see the effects of my actions and how serious abuse and emotional abuse is to people. So when I saw Mr. Santoro's video, it made me think back on who I was and how familiar his situation was to the situation that I was in. I've seen many people try to make fun of this situation and to accuse Mr. Santoro of lying for no reason at all. This is disgusting and needs to stop. The sad thing is, the majority of people who do that, from what I have seen, are Nicole Arbour's fan, which is troubling to hear. She has done nothing to stop this, and they have made fun of Matthew Santoro in ways in which they say that he should basically take the abuse and that she's a woman, why are you complaining? This is not helpful at all and really doesn't even help with the emotional abuse side of things. Mental abuse is just as harming as physical abuse, if not even worse. Manipulation and emotional abuse not only hurt your mental state of being, but can cause you to self-harm as well and to be physically hurt as well. Being mentally unhealthy can make you physically unhealthy and can hurt your physical health as well. So, Nicole Arbour, if you are watching this video on the off chance, I hope that you learn from your mistakes and learn to love yourself along with the people you care about, instead of bottling up hatred and distaste for everyone. It is unhealthy for your mental health, and you will suffer for it. I have been in your shoes, and it is not a place where you want to be stuck at. I'll go into more details about responding to Nicole Arbour in my next video, but for this one, I will keep it about Matthew Santoro. I just want to end this story by saying that I am very remorseful for my actions, especially seeing Mr. Santoro's story. I was so invested in his story that I felt personally responsible for what happened at times when he was describing the abuse that he was going through. But my relationships has vastly improved since I changed the ways I acted before, and being in a toxic relationship like the one Mr. Santoro described is not a lifestyle that you want to pursue. Please reach out for help if you or someone you know is in a similar situation. Anyway, that's all from me, guys. Thank you all for watching and listening to me. I'll post another video with my response to Nicole Arbour's video soon. Bless you all.